I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about having gratitude for self. And I had this realization that I needed to share partially why that is so important in our own healing and as we strive for better health in our life. So this lady here, this was Faye at 28. I was staring down the barrel of being a single mom. I would be a single mom of 4 young children within a few months' time of this picture being taken. I was at a low point in my life. I had no identity of my own. I had no idea what my strengths were. I was very aware of my weaknesses, but I couldn't tell you what I was good at or what my talents were to save my life. My life revolved around being a wife and a mom and just surviving. And this other lady right here, this is 38-year-old me. It is another low point in my life. She had been in a very toxic marriage for a number of years. She was in survival mode, and she struggled every day to get up and to keep living. You ask why I would say that these ladies are my hero. Well, for a long time, I couldn't look at their pictures. I felt disgust. I felt just so much, just disgust and embarrassment for who looked back at me in those pictures. When I started doing my own coaching for my own healing, I had been triggered by these pictures. I had seen them, they'd come up, and I was really struggling to be able to feel like I could embrace who these parts of myself were. And through coaching, made the realization that who I am today was built on the backs of those ladies. They did the hard work. They kept going. They kept getting up. They kept moving forward, even when they didn't want to, even when they wanted to just bury their head in a pillow and not wake up, even when they wanted to end it all, even when they didn't know how they were going to get through the next hour, let alone the next day, months, years. Those were hard years. There was a lot of hard shit that went on in my life. And those ladies, they kept going. They made those hard choices. And they made those steps, those first steps into braveness, into being bold, into being strong, so that I could be who I am today. And because of them, I am here. But I couldn't have done it without them. And I'm here because I did it on the backs of those women that I used to be so disgusted and embarrassed about. So, when they talk about self-love and they talk about that you have to love yourself, I've always, for a long time, sure, I love myself. But until I was able to fully embrace those parts of me, those versions of my past self, and to find gratitude for their role in who I am today, for their role in achieving things that they achieved. And maybe it was because they got out of bed in the morning. They still got out of bed in the morning. And trust me, there were days they didn't want to. There were days that was really hard. But they made those steps. And I was able to finally come to a place where I realized that I loved those versions of my past self. And I was grateful for them. And I can look at those pictures now, and I do feel love for them. I don't feel shame. I don't feel disgust. I don't feel embarrassment. So if you are struggling with parts of your past selves, maybe this is something that you needed to hear, to think about. there's great power in finding gratitude for our past and our experience. And they are part of healing. So anyway, that's all I had to say today. And I hope that if you needed to hear it, hopefully this was beneficial for you. And you'll be hearing more from me soon, because I have lots of little nuggets. So just remember, love your past self.